ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aussie Formula Racing Tier 1 race, Season 6, Round 9 from Budapest, Hungary, here at the Hungaroring. Very popular track here tonight for you. Pretty action-packed last couple of seasons that we've had, particularly going into Turn 1 and Turns 2. Two DRS straights there. It's a 4.3 kilometre circuit. A couple of DRS zones to assist with the overtaking. Total of 14 corners. Just having a look back through the history. Last season we had a pretty big and hectic start to the race. A few cars getting taken out there. Basically the whole grid involved at some point. And then on the run down to turn 2, had a number of cars get pushed wide out into the weeds. And we had a Haas get spun around there on the Rolex signage. So hopefully they'll have a bit of a cleaner start this week. We also had a bit of a hectic start in Turns 1 and Turn 3 of Season 5 as well. Big Al coming out of the pits, nearly getting collided into. Looked very reminiscent of the Barrichello-Schumacher incident from a few years back in real life. Then we had a bit of a train heading down into Turn 2 corner as well. Big Al trying around the outside of the Red Bull there of Mattia Dabri. Not quite getting the job done. Another Turn 1 to 3 incident. We had Mattia Dabri, Wahid and Big Al battling it out a bit later in the same race. Wahid and Mattia Dabri going side by side and run into Turn 2. Big Al getting in on the action as well. Just trying to sneak it up the inside of the McLaren, but just taps his rear tyre and gets spun around. Just cooking his rear tyres there and ruining a bit of his race. A couple of seasons ago we had a full wet race. And here we had Potsy and Geordie going side by side through the first couple of corners as well. Traction so bad here when it gets wet. So far, forecast for tonight looking like we're just going to be having dry conditions for qualifying. We'll keep you posted on the weather conditions for the race. As you see Potsy there getting around Geordie in the end at Turn 3. A sneaky pass here from Sid at Turn 4, an unusual passing position, getting past Wahid from McLaren, and sweeping around Turn 5 as well. Just to get the job done. Very high risk corner to pass though. Not much space to go side by side there at all. We had as well a bit of a battle between Big Al and Peter coming through turn 13. Peter just getting in front but forcing Big Al off onto the curb, but then a little bit of lag sent him across into the outside wall there and onto the grass. Jump across to our quali session. We have a few cars already out on track, and I'm joined here in the commentary box by Ben Camp. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure as always. Any news on the weather for the race?
Apparently it's meant to be all dry with some possible cloud at the start of the race.
Okay.
And we currently have Simdogger, first one on a flying lap with Art Annis behind him. So they'll be the first ones to set a timed lap.
Yep, just on board with McLaren. Simdogger tonight, who's filling in for Fellow Pepsi. He's unable to race, but maybe back to commentary a bit later. I just want to take this opportunity as well to give a shout out to our long-time AFR fan, Hungarian Richard Gonda. So thank you for all of your support over the last few seasons. We really do appreciate all of our long-time fans here at AFR. Simdogger comes across the line and sets a 1:14.5. Pretty solid lap for his banker. Tanner setting a 1:15.0. I did see in some of the pre-race testing and practice that Tier 1 may get down into the 112s. Quite sure what that's going to do.
Well, Macau's just done a 13.2, so already not far away.
Absolutely. It'd be interesting to obviously the alternate strategy works quite well here as well. I wonder if anyone's going to try and qualify on the medium tyre. I think you can stretch a soft to a hard, as got Panda there setting 1:13.2 as well. Pacey with 1:13.8. Yeah, I think you can do a soft hard, but your tyres have to last a very long time in that first stint. And the hards are going to be pretty slow towards the end, but I would expect most would try and do a medium-hard strategy if they can. We may even see a two-stop, soft medium as well. We've seen a few instances of that in the past, especially if there's a safety car, just to break up a little bit of the race. Some bob with Wahid Williams, who's starting his lap, just coming up to turn 4 now. Definitely not a flat corner, that one, as some people may not know.
Yeah, definitely need to lift going through there.
And it's a tricky one for track limits as well, so definitely watch for during the race. People might rack up a few warnings. As Wahid's coming up to a little bit of traffic here through the end of sector 2, and he nearly loses the car. He does lose the car and just taps the wall. I think he got away with no damage there, but that lap is pretty ruined.
How did he get away with that? Oh my goodness.
That was a scary moment. You could see just the rear wasn't sticking as he came around that right-hander, and then he corrected it. And a little bit like Sonoda last night in qualifying in real life, just the car gripped up at exactly the wrong moment, and it's just sent it round into the wall, but somehow he's managed to get away with it. Another tricky corner is this one at turn 5. It's got that concrete curb on the inside, which is basically instant death if you touch that. Be very surprised if any of our top laps will be going anywhere near that, and during the race, you really want to stay off that curb or you'll be going to the back of the pack. Forward combined from Renault, almost finishing his lap, coming into the final sector now. And a couple of goes at the hairpin. And the final corner, pretty tidy but a bit conservative. I think it's probably just a banker lap, and yeah, 115.4 there. LPF 346 ENG. So basically our championship leaders at the moment are Mikau and FIBA. They're pretty much in a league of their own at the moment. They're pretty consistently at the top, both qualifying and the race results, but hopefully we'll see some surprises tonight. Hungary is a bit of a favourite for some of the drivers, so I'm sure they'll be practicing a fair bit.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun track, but can be very difficult to overtake, so qualifying will be pretty important here.
Yeah, mostly turn 1 and turn 2 are the main points for overtaking. Can get it done in other places, but you really need to be on a better strategy than the other cars to pull that one off. Yeah, so I often describe it as Monaco without the walls, so just have to see how creative some of the drivers can be. If they're caught in the train, maybe go for the undercut to just get a bit of clean air. Thank you for the follow, Ponton number 1. The Haas driver currently in P9 with 114.8, and he's just about to come out for another lap on the soft tyre. We do have Artanis at the moment, starting on the mediums at the moment. I'll jump with him in a moment once Miguel completes his lap. Waiting for the regular reminder from Ali that Miguel is in fact his brother, but he's not yet in the Twitch chat, so I've got him first for once. Bit of a lock-up there. Yeah, on the front left. Shouldn't hurt his son too much.
Very easy to do into that corner as well, so shouldn't lose him too much time. As
he goes provisional pole with a 113.176. I don't think there were many sandbags on that Red Bull, so I think he was giving it the full beans. So
yeah.
Jump back with Artanis, who's just finishing a lap on the mediums. We'll see how competitive his time is. About 10 minutes left in the session.
Team Mac also setting a time of 114.7, good enough for 10th at the moment.
Artanis 114.8 on those medium tyres, so he just used up all of his deployment just before he came across the line, so I don't think that would have affected his time at all, but that time's really not that competitive. He's not in the top 10, so...
Well, FIBA currently the only driver in the top 10 on the mediums on 114.3. So I don't know if he's going to be safe with that time, to be honest.
Just on board with Panda Mercedes, who's coming out to turn 4 on his second flying lap. Oh, he didn't even shift down for turn 4. It's very, very aggressive. I think now that he's got a pretty decent banker, he's going to be absolutely banging it. Very tight, using absolutely all of the track that he possibly can. A little lift on that right hander. Ooh, nearly loses the rear of the car. He's got a little bit of traffic in front as well. We've got the Haas there. And the car looks a lot more planted through there than the Williams did a little bit earlier. Coming into the final sector, a little lock up on the right front. Really lost on the AstroTurf there. Comes the hairpin again, locking that front left. It's, like you said before, it's a very tricky corner, a bit off camber. And trail braking all the way around while you turn. Pretty tight if on a corner. The car looks a little bit unstable there. Stepped out a bit. He's run out of deployment as well. And improved by just 11 thousandths of a second. 13.191.
Jumps Macau, but not enough to get Big Al for the moment.
Just on board with
8 minutes left.
Just on board with Sid at the moment. He's got no ERS deployment on his flying lap here on the soft, so I wonder if he's going to come out in a little bit on the mediums. Interesting to see. We do have Pacey behind him in the Alpha Tauri, currently going for his flying lap as well. It's turn 4. And that looks like an invalidation. I've just realised that I don't have my track map on, so I can't tell if he does think he's invalidated. He's backed right out of it. As I think that was Flyboy just joined the session.
Yeah.
So that's good. Let's have a full grid tonight.
Yeah, will be the sole Alpha driver, I believe.
Alpha Romeo. I was going to say there are 2 Alpha Tauris that I can see. I was watching Jacob who's coming up to his former factory team of Racing Point, almost getting in the way there, and he's run very deep at the end of that little straight there, so I'm not sure if he was affected at all. Comes around the final corner now, as Flyboy does in fact get into the Alfa Romeo. And yeah, just noticing a few of these drivers pushing on the softs, they're just running out of ERS deployment before the final straight, so they need to manage it a little bit more through the slower corners to make sure they've got enough. I'm just going to jump on board with Mikau now, who's just starting his next flying lap. He is on the soft tyre as well, so maybe not going for the ultimate strategy. Maybe he'll get down into the 112s this time.
Stars has also just completed a lap at 113.666. Good
Very
enough
solid.
for 5th place for the moment.
Yeah, Mikau not shifting down at all for that left-hander, so obviously very committed. Feels very comfortable in the car. Ooh, he nearly loses the rear there after the fast chicane. Gets on the throttle so early. See the car sliding through all the corners. Just has to ease off on the throttle a little bit. He is the 10th up. Not quite enough to get into the 112s, but be just enough to get in provisional pole. He comes around the second last corner here. Very tight, he short shifts up to 4th, just get a little bit more traction out of the corner. Takes a wide apex through the final one. Gets on the throttle nice and early. Doesn't take too much curb on the exit. He's lost that ERS deployment, but he does go provisional pole with 113.112. Improves by 1.5 tenths with about 5 minutes to go.
Right on the cusp of breaking into the 12s at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bieber going out again on the medium, so he believes he can do enough to get into the top 10.
He's 9.2 seconds down on his time, so maybe not on this lap. Oh, he nearly loses the rear there, and he does come into the pits.
No. Yeah, he'll be coming for soft side, I would imagine.
Car does not look comfortable on throttle at all. And jump on board with Matzoid, who's just coming through sector 2 now, passing a slow Mercedes. So it's a purple second sector and he's 2 tenths up on his time. It's only going to be good enough for about P6. He just unseat his teammate there. So Tanis just out of 113.7 and goes to the P6 as well. Manswood comes around the final corner, ran out of ERS and improves by 2 tenths. So does go up in front of his teammate, but just behind the Haas. He takes P7. Jump on board with T-Mac, who's just starting a lap on the medium tyre. We'll see how competitive that is. Big lock up on the front left as he comes through turn 2. Turn 3, barely a corner. Keep it absolutely flat through it. Takes a lot inside curb at turn 4. It doesn't shift down. Just kisses that concrete curb on the inside. Ooh, a big lock up into the chicane. It's going to compromise his lap. see just a couple of corners time how much he has lost. And yeah, he's just a little bit quicker than his best lap so far. A bit of an awkward line there into the next corner. He seemed to move across to the inside before turning. That was definitely not the optimal line. You really want to take a wide entrance just to carry the speed around. Through the final corner. He has managed his ERS a bit better than the others and only improves by 7 thousandths of a second. Jump on board with Geordie of Williams, who apparently has gone purple in sector 1. Just want to see how he goes through the remainder of his lap. Pretty planted that Williams. Yeah, he's 3/10 up. It's going to be good enough to get him up to top 5 potentially, if he can nail the rest of the lap. A bit deep at the hairpin, but there are a few different lines to take through here, so that will give him a bit more top speed by the end. This sort of corner. The car's trying to slide out from underneath him, runs onto the curb on the exit. Does go up to P4, 113.420, improved by half a second there. Great result there for Geordie. Got a couple of minutes left, so I don't think he's going to have enough time to come around and go again. We've got an Alfa Romeo of Flyboys about to complete a lap. See how he goes. Not sure if there's still a bug at the moment though. He may have to start from the back because he joined after the session had already started. Comes across the line. Yeah, P15 with 115.1. Okay. Jump aboard with Simdogger, starting a lap on the soft tyre. See how he goes. Just noticing as well, Wahid has yet to set a time. I wonder if he's had some issues with track limits. We obviously came aboard with him a bit earlier in the session and he had that scary moment in Sector 2 where he hit the wall. But yeah, one of the tricky things about these tracks is because it's so strict with the corner cutting and extending, you really want to get just any time on the board early on in the session so you can afford to push and not be stuck at the back with no time at all, because it basically makes it a one-shot quali right at the death. Tidy from Simdogger here, he's a 10th up on his time. Should put him just behind his teammate who's in P11. Fever still committed to starting on the medium tyres. Has come out again to start another run. 30 seconds left in the session. And Jacob does beat his teammate, so he's improved by 3/10 there, and a couple of tenths ahead of his teammate. Let's see, Combined just finishing his lap here. And improves by 1.2 seconds, goes up to P12. And that was Williams. Wahid setting a 122.8, but he's just made it across the line, so we'll get another lap in. Jump on board.
He's pushing this lap.
Smitty has just beaten the checker flag. I think he had a fraction of a second. So everyone else who crosses the line will be completing now. I think we've got a Haas is about to come across the line now. He's invalidated, unfortunate for Artanis, but his teammate is coming across the line in a moment as well. Pondon, currently in P14, comes across the line, goes up to P12 with 114.217. But the Alpha Tauri, I think that was Pacey coming across the line with a 113.6. And we've got the Red Bull of, that's Big Al just set provisional pole with a 113.0.
Ooh.
And Fever comes across the line now in the mediums, does not improve. Got the other Ferrari there. I think that Trin just came across the line, can't improve on his time. Oh, he does by a couple of tenths, but not good enough to improve position. We had Mikau setting a pole with 112.9. Great lap there. And a jump for the back. Combined has aborted his lap. We've got the other Williams. Wahid is also about to finish his lap. And he improves, goes up to P10. Great lap from him. Trying to find the next one. Smitty comes across the line with 114.990. Got a Mercedes. I think teammate. I think that's everyone done. Yeah, that's right. So it's pole position for Mikau pips Big Al by just 1/10 of a second and breaks into 1 minute 12. So great lap from him. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. We've got Re-Rice, we've got Rombo R6, and we've got Olong Johnson 741. Very nice name we've got there. So yeah, great qualifying session. And well done to Mikko as well. Interesting that he decided to try and qualify on the soft tyre, but his rival in the championship, FIBA, opting to try and get on the mediums and it not quite working out for him. So run through the order here. We've got Mikko on pole position. Next to him will be Big Al, then Panda, Geordie, Sid, Pacey, Stars, Artanis, Matsoid, and Wahid all in the top 10. Then we've got Jacob, Simdog, Pondon combined down in 14th, and FIBA all the way back in 15th position. He did set his fastest time on the soft tyre, but I think that was just his warm-up lap at the start of the session. Then got T-Mac, Flyboy, Trin, and Smitty. Ferrari locking out the back row of the grid. And I'm sure Maranello will not be too happy with that.
Just over 2 seconds covering the whole grid and just under a second covering the top 10.
Yeah, it's pretty tight, especially right at the pointy end. So a bit disappointing though to see FIBA so far down the order. Hopefully he'll be able to do something with a bit of strategy and be able to keep out of trouble there. But yeah, that's going to hurt him a little bit, I think, especially given how difficult it is to pass here at Hungary.
I wouldn't be surprised if FIBA goes for the hard tyres to start with.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. He could opt to go for the softer ones just to get past, get track position early on. He will be on fresh softs if he does go for that strategy, so he'll be able to go a little bit longer than the cars in the top 10 who must start on the tyre that they qualified on, in this case all on the softs. And then everyone outside the top 10 is permitted to start on whatever tyre they have available. But yeah, I would expect most outside the top 10 to go for that one-stop strategy of either medium hard or hard medium. But you never know. Someone could try the two-stop, see how it goes. But with these 40, 45-minute races, there's not quite enough time to be able to make a two-stop work. In most cases, anyway, unless there's pretty high tyre deg. We do see it from time to time.
Or if a safety car comes out at a suitable time.
Absolutely. And we're just waiting for the last few seconds while the drivers finalise their race strategy. And here we go. So let's just have a quick look here. So FIBA has gone for the hard tyre, so that's 1 point to you, Band, for getting the correct guess. But yeah, we've got outside the top 10, we've got Jacob, Simdogger, combined, T-Mac, Trin, Smitty, and Flyboy all opting for the medium tyre, while Pondon and FIBA both on the hard tyre. So yeah, interesting strategy choices there, but not all too surprising.
Well, if there's an early safety car, I mean, they could go to a hard medium strategy, get off those hards early, but we'll see.
Yeah, it just depends on the tyre allocation, because if you've gone for the softer set, you'll only have
one set of mediums.
Exactly, which can be tricky. The softs do burn out pretty quickly here at Hungary. It's pretty demanding on those front tyres in particular. So there we see the predicted pit stop strategy. Lap 8 to 9 if they're going for soft to hard, and lap 7 to 9 if they're going soft, medium. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah, well, Macau is in the fortunate position of having his championship rival all the way down in 15th, so he needs to just focus on getting off the line well.
Interesting
trying to hold that lead into turn 1.
Yeah, absolutely interesting to see the Ferraris and the Alfa Romeo dropping back a little bit right at the back of the field. Wonder if they're just trying to get a little bit of temperature out of the tyres of the cars in front. Peter, pole time was a 1 minute 12.9 from Mikau, and everyone else was in their 13s. Just wait for the last couple of drivers to form up on the grid. Got the green flag at the front. Lights coming on, the engine's revving. Got the 5 red lights, and we're away. Pretty tidy start so far. Looks like at the front we've got the Williams has had a great start from Geordie there. Mercedes as well has already got past the Red Bull of Sid. They're going a couple wide into the corner. The Mercedes is going for a move on Stars. There we go. Yeah, it looks like he's in front. That's Panda's already taken the lead. They're side by side. Bit of ghosting happening here, but hopefully that gets sorted out. Mikau sends it on the inside just to get that position back. Oh, there's a bit of contact again. And Panda does maintain the lead. Couldn't see too much action from the back. Sort of jumping up and down. Mystery Gambi. Yeah, Panda is in front. He's managed to get past.
He's also got some wing damage.
Oh,
left end plate missing.
Must have been that contact coming out of turn 2. He's just lost that end plate. That's going to be hurting him a little bit, especially through the sector, but he has got track position, so going to be able to keep them behind for a little bit at least, but those tyres are going to heat up so quickly now. The other issue for him is going to be the track limits, not being able to turn the car the way that he wants. It's just going to affect him that little bit more. He'll run wide, pick up a few warnings. We've got
Smitty.
Smitty's gone around just after the hairpin. Peter Fieber tried to qualify on the medium tyre, but couldn't quite get into the top 10. He has up to P11 already on the hard tyres, so he's done very well. Just watching this battle for the lead still. We've got Panda and Mikau still fighting it out, and Big Al trying to keep it close. Sure, does Racing Point have any damage as well? Don't think so, but he's not exactly right on his gearbox for the slow corners, so
might be just biding his time until DRS becomes available.
That's true. Could just be saving the tyres, trying to go a little bit longer. Got a little bit of jostling happening a bit further back. Stars is under a lot of pressure from City. Actually gets a hit from behind from the Red Bull, who's now coming up alongside into the next corner. He does have overlap, so he's going to have to be given a little bit of room there. They go side by side and they just bang a little bit. Oh, the Racing Point nearly goes around, and Matsoid says thank you very much, and he gets both of them in the one move. Great work there, and look, the Red Bull's gone right out as well. The Haas of Tannis has got past him as well. Still tries to keep it on the inside, but it's a slower line when you're side by side. Now Tannis keeps the position for Sid. He's lost out big time on that lap. Just having a look a bit further up, Matsoy's trying to go around the outside of turn 1 against the Racing Pointers. We've got the Mercedes in the wall. Is that Panda? Panda's gone around at turn 1.
Panda.
He's in the wall. Oh no. Just having a look, and Mikau's still got his front wing intact, so I don't know if there's a bit of contact there or if he's just lost it on his own, but yeah, Panda.
Yeah, I wasn't watching, unfortunately.
We've got an Alpha Tauri rounds up Matsoid. I think has lost a little position there. And Fieber now up to P9 on those hard tyres. He's had a great start. Oh, there's Matsoid, big slide into the hairpin, and he's under a lot of pressure from Sid now. Mikau starting to stretch his legs a bit now that he's in clean air, setting a 118.226, the fastest lap of the race.
Wahid coming into the pits already. Panda as well. New front wing for both of them.
Flyboy lines the back of the gearbox of Pondon's Haas. So Ali just saying there, it looked like it was net code between Panda and Mikau. It sent Panda into the wall, so it's very unfortunate. Just looking up at Artanis, who's so close to the back of Stars now. He's going to make a move. So Racing Point's dropped out of DRS range of Pacey and the AlphaTauri. So Mikau again sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Oh, and the Racing Point tries to cover it up to the inside, but too late. Artanis had a mega run out of the final corner. He got past him even before he opened the DRS flap, and he gets the job done into turn 1. A little bit of a look further back, and Flyboy's making a move on Pondon. Side by side through turn 2. Oh, he's got round. Oh, he's gone. He's gone, and he's out. And a virtual safety car has been deployed. That was a big, big hit, and Flybo's got a 5-second penalty for that by the game. That was a big, big hit.
Oh,
that was a massive hit. Let's just have a look at that again. And it looked like they were making it side by side, and it just looked like they interlocked tyres briefly there in the exit of turn 3. And oh, he got some airtime there as well. That was a big, big, big hit. And I'm not sure if Flyboy's picked up some damage from that. Just trying to have a look at the off-board shot there. Looks like he's okay. He's got away with that one unscathed, but he has picked up a penalty for that, which will serve at the next pit stop. That was a huge, huge hit.
VSC is over.
Just noticing Stars is coming to the pits. He's pulled the trigger early there at Racing Point. And the pit window is open now for the 2-stop strategy, so it'll be interesting to see if that's what he's doing. See what tyre he chucks on now that he's in the pits.
Goes for the hard tyre, no front wing change.
Yeah, it might just be a tactical decision there, just get out of the traffic. He knows that he's going to start going backwards now with those softs starting to fade a bit.
Yeah, he's got clean air now as well. 11 seconds of it.
You would see it as Fever's now up into P8, and he's all over the back of the Red Bull. Yeah, the McLaren's positioning the inside for the hairpin. You know, side by side. Fever now going for the outside of the final corner. Red Bull still holding that inside line. McLaren cuts back though. He'll have a good run now with DRS as well. Side by side, but yeah, the McLaren gets clean past. Red Bull not getting DRS. He's under pressure as well from Jacob Meister in the Renault into turn 1, and he gets a job done as well. So the Red Bull just not having a lot of straight line speed. The Renault picks up more DRS again. The Red Bull just going backwards now.
Yeah, Willie's on those old softs.
Further back, Timac under a bit of pressure from Flyboy and Smitty. Smitty has done pretty well to catch up to the back of the field after that spin earlier on in the race.
Yes, he certainly has.
Very racy on the back of the Alfa Romeo. Oh, Flyboy running very wide. We're picking up some warnings now for exceeding track limits. So you see a few more drivers coming to the pits. So Mikau, our race leader's coming to the pits. That gives DL the lead. We've also got Geordie Williams in the pits, Artanis, Haas, and Sid of Red Bull all coming to the pits. Who's staying out though? Miguel Pacey and Matsuo, both AlphaTauri staying out. And Flyboy able to keep a Ferrari behind him with the DRS. Matsuo Struggling to keep the McLaren of FIBA behind as well. He's done so well, kept it clean, really pushing those hard tyres to their maximum performance. But Matsuo does pick up a penalty there. He's under a fair bit of pressure. With those tyres fading, it's only going to get more difficult. Just trying to see where Mikau came out. He's in a bit of clean air. He's got 3.5 seconds to Smitty in front of him, and about 3 seconds to Geordie behind. So he's got a fair bit of clean air to push a little bit, and might get a bit more of an undercut.
Flyboy has dropped out of DRS range of T-Max, so Smitty might be able to get past here.
Oh, AlphaTauri is double stacking. Matsuo peeled off in the pits, but Pacey's already there, and I think there may be a little bit of... I think he's going to get helped here. Yeah, Matsuo. He's definitely lost a couple of seconds.
Yeah, not terrible, but not great either.
Especially here at a track where you really need that track position. I hope that's not hurt him too much. He's got Whitehead a few seconds behind him. He may come back out in front, so I don't think it's hurt him too much.
Smitty's been able to make the move on Flyboy.
As Pandas at the fastest lap of the race, 1:17.7, so he's currently about 3.5 seconds off the back of Sid. So he's still a chance of getting some points here. We've just got to stick with it. Starting to see a few penalties racking up from some of the drivers. Trin closing the gap to the Renault of Jacob Meister, about 6/10. Jacob not in DRS range of FIBA, so he's a bit vulnerable here coming into turn 1. Is the Ferrari going to send it down the inside? He does. Very late on the brakes, takes a lot of curb on the inside. Is Renault going to try and switch back and get him on the run to turn 2? No, he can't. The Ferrari's got DRS as well still. Thank you so much for the follow, all these boys.
Geordie sets a new fastest lap. And Macau is quickly approaching the Alfa Romeo of Flyboy. So how quickly can he clear this traffic?
Yeah, we're expecting the mediums to stay out there for a few more laps, so he's going to have to get the move done on merit. Already within 1 second now to come up through the end of sector 2. Think about it, but the side's better of it. Wait it out till the straight. Alfa Romeo pulling to the inside to spread the toe a little bit, but Mikau's just got way too much pace and gets the job done. Moves up to P8. Still only a few seconds behind FIBA, so should still have a net lead of the race. It just depends on how much FIBA can pull out the lead at the moment. Further back, we've got a bit of a battle brewing between Wahid and Sid. 16th place, we go side by side through turn 2. Well, not much room given, but Williams has to yield through turn 3. And Sid moves up to 16th. Slowly chipping away at Simdogger's time here. He's got the gap down to less than half a second. Cow as well has already come up to the back of Smitty's Ferrari. takes the inside line, just breezes past the Ferrari. Not so much Smitty can do there on a different strategy. T-Mac still not able to make a move on the McLaren. Just going to have to try again at the end of this lap. Jordy and Flyboy in the battle as well. Well, looks like Jordy makes it through pretty easy. I'm not sure if Flyboy just lifted a little bit there to let him through. Big Al's made it through as well. Oh, Flyboy way out of track limits there, and Pacey gets through as well.
Jacob Meister's still pretty close to the back of Trin here.
Yeah, he's not able to stay in the DRS range, so he's not really interested in passing him. He just wants to tow a bit further away from his teammate. As Mikau sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:17.5. He gets within a couple of tenths of the McLaren by turn 3, but he's just not able to get the move done, and then he seems to lose a fair bit of time across the top of the hill. As Geordie's managed to get past Smitty just out of turn 5. It's a bit unconventional. The Ferrari driver's made a little bit of a mistake and allowed the Williams to go through. He's under a lot of pressure now from Big Al in the Red Bull. Just wonder if those medium tyres are starting to go off.
Yeah, well, they will be getting close to the pitting time, and I think he's made the call.
Yeah, he's come in. Unsurprising. I think it's also to be expected that he'd be one of the first to feel the pain. Those mediums spinning pretty early on. Zartanis making a move on Flyboy on the pit straight. Gets clear into turn 1. Mikau starting to get caught in a little bit of traffic now. He's caught up to the back of Simdogger and T-Mac.
May not be so easy to pass here.
Yeah, just conscious as well. Phoebe's pulled out 3.5 seconds, nearly 4 seconds clear of Trin. And having that clean air, this is where it's going to be a big advantage. Mikau needs to get through this traffic as soon as he can, or he's got a risk of being overcut by Fever, who started on those hard tyres.
And even if he does, finishing quickly as well.
Exactly, even if he does come out behind Mikau, if he's on those fresh tyres, it'd be pretty easy for him to stay with him and get past him on the DRS straight. So it's absolutely critical that Mikau clears this traffic as soon as he can. Trick part as well as T-Mac's going to have DRS on the McLaren, so he's a lot closer this time as well. T-Mac might have to go into turn 1 here, and I think he is getting the job done. He's finally got past Simdogger now, but he's come back at him. He's had a little switchback, and they are side by side on the run down to turn 2. The Mercedes does have the inside line. McLaren's going to have to give him a bit of space, and he does. Oh, there's a bit of contact going into turn 3, and the Mercedes has gone off the track. Got pushed very wide there, and I think Mikau's got past both of them, so that's how you do it. That is how you do it.
Well, you two pick up. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Absolutely, and now he's moved up to P5. He's a couple of seconds behind the two Renaults, who've both dropped out of DRS range of Trin. So he's got a bit of an easy job to get past those.
Trin is pitting. So is Jacob Meister.
There we go.
It's going to force Combine to go around again.
And T-Mac comes into the pit as well. So it's going to be good for Miko. He's only got the one car in front of him now between him and Fever. And now we just wait and see when does Fever pull the trigger. Is he going to come in for the mediums, or is he going to extend out a bit longer and try and get onto the softs for the finish? God, Stars trying to battle Trin, who's just come out of the pits. He switches back, turn 1, and side by side of the run to turn 2. Oh, the Vinterlock tyres a little bit. This is very risky. The Ferrari driver's got the inside line, though. He should squeeze out the racing point, and he does. Trin on those cold, hard tyres. Done very well to keep the racing point behind, but this is going to be a bit of a spicy battle. Of course, these two battling last season for the Tier 2 championship. Oh, the racing point runs very wide there, nearly hitting the wall. Just to keep it out. Oh, he's gone round though. He's lost on the AstroTurf and he's into the wall. Oh, that's a shame. His wing's still intact, but he's lost a handful of positions there. He's dropped from 11th all the way down to 14th. As we see, Combined and Simdog are coming to the pits now. And Mikau is now in P2. And the gap is now 8.5 seconds to Fever, who's in the race lead.
Fever not really losing a lot of time on the hard tyre at the moment. Oh no, Stars has gone around. He's damaged his wing this time.
Yeah, there he is at the exit of turn 4 there. He's lost it. Yeah, look at that front wing damage. Both end plates are gone. Part of the right element's gone as well. Yeah, it's a real shame. I reckon he's probably hurt those tyres in the last lap. And he had that little half spin into the wall. Let's jump up to Geordie now. He's under a fair bit of pressure from Big Al and Pacey for P3 in the final podium position.
We're just over halfway.
Yeah, the field's spread out quite a bit at the moment. Just going to jump a little bit further back. It looks like Matsoy's under a bit of pressure from Jacob Meister and the Renault. Yeah, basically got Fever and Mikau obviously on two different strategies, so they'll come together a little bit later as Matsoy and Jacob going side by side through turn 2. And still side by side through turn 3, and it looks like Matsoy stayed in front. Try to go side by side through turn 4 as well, and it looks like, yeah, Matsoy's got it. Still got it. Jacob has to back out. But now that's allowed Sid to come into this little fight as well. He's got a yellow flag. We've got the McLaren of Simdog going around. Dare I say he might have touched that concrete curb at turn 5. Was Fever made a little mistake there? Oh, no, he's just got past Stars. Okay. You see on the track map that there's an orange dot next to a pink one. I thought the gap would close pretty quickly. As Jacob Meister's got past Matsoy into turn 1. As T-Mac speeds into the pit lane.
Oh no.
I think he might actually have some wing damage there. Apparently been on those hard tyres for one lap and he's right at the back now, so it's very unfortunate. so he's got to be careful. He's run very wide in the exit of turn 5. It's the second lap in a row. There's not much grip out there. You don't want to lose the rear and get spat across into the wall.
Fever's into the pits.
There we go.
So he'll be going onto the medium tyre. I reckon he'll come out around 7th, 8th place, maybe.
Yeah, Mika's taking the lead now. Yeah, we've got those medium tyres, so I think, yeah, he'll come out maybe just behind the Haas of Artanis in P6.
Yeah.
Yep, there he goes. So that's pretty good. He's in a nice little pocket of air, so he can push pretty hard, but I think it's about 10, 15 seconds from Mikau. Pretty tall order to try and get that time back in the next 15 laps.
Well, he should be able to clear Artanis reasonably quickly with the tyre difference.
Yeah.
And then it's just about how quickly he can close down that clean air.
I think he'll probably get onto the podium. I just don't see him having the pace to be able to catch Mikau and pass him before his tyres fall off the cliff. It's asking a bit too much, I think. So he's already caught up to the back of Artanis in Sector 2. And Geordie's been managing the gap to Big Al and Pacey quite well. It's still sitting around a half-second mark, and they haven't been able to get past him.
Yeah, I think Fever's going to get Artanis here.
He does. The inside line into the corner and gets it done pretty easily.
So 5.1 seconds is the gap to Pacey, the next car.
And these three have been squabbling for quite a few laps, and just might be a bit tricky out in this little DRS train for Fever, unless he can pick them off one by one.
Or maybe both of them will get out of his way like we saw before.
Yeah, both go off the track and he just goes straight through. Easy.
Jacob Meister picking up penalty.
Yeah, currently Jacob Meister's got 6 seconds, as does Matt Soyd. Flyboy and Stars all sitting on 6 seconds. They've got Pacey's just picked up a 3-second penalty, and we've got Wahid and Panda also on 3, and T-Mac's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Hi Race Division, thanks for joining us. Fever setting 1:16.8. There we go.
It's just taken 1.2 seconds, or 1.3 seconds out of Pacey. So, and that's roughly a second out of Mikau.
Yeah, definitely going to have to watch that towards the end of the race. See, Pacey's dropped off a little bit from the back of Big Al as well. And as Geordie picks up a 3-second penalty as well, so he's still in the pressure now. The Red Bull's right behind him. Hey Tay, thanks for joining us. A battle between the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Panda trying to get past Smitty. Side by side in the corner, but I think Panda's, come out on top there. There's the lead running into turn 4. So we see the penalties stack on quite a bit. The drivers losing focus a little bit. Those warnings stacking up. Fever again setting the fastest lap of the race. Taking 1.2 seconds out of Pacey that lap. Pacey's closed back up onto Big Al as well, so sort of battle pack's going to be definitely tricky. You can see Fever in the background now, closing in on them.
Yeah, Fever may force the issue here with these drivers in front.
Well, he's got the grip, so can look for the unconventional places to pass, but is he going to risk losing a front wing? At the moment, he does have the pace to catch Mick out by the end, but he doesn't want to pick up any penalties or, even worse, any damage trying to get through this traffic.
Have to say, Geordie doing really well. He's pretty much matching pace with Macau at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's keeping the cars behind as well, even though they've got DRS. He does have the ERS light on though, so he's struggling now to keep them behind. The gap down to 3/10. Sveba again setting the fastest lap, and again takes out over a second out of Pacey. See him getting ever closer there in the background. Big Al's going to be quite content at the moment in this position. He knows he just has to keep it clean for the rest of the race. He doesn't have any penalties there, but Geordie and Pacey around him do, so he doesn't have to do anything too rash, just has to bide his time until they make a mistake. It'll be another solid result for him.
Fever within that 1 second range now, half a second, so he's right in amongst it. Jacob Meister picks up another 3 second penalty.
I think he's up to 9 seconds now, so he's going to possibly drop out of the top 10. I think he will, yeah. Bit of a lock up there from Pacey. Under the pressure from the McLaren.
So what can Fever do here? Going for it.
He had a little think about sending it down the inside, but he just erred on the side of caution. But this is what I mean. These guys all have DRS in front of him. He's going to have to use a lot of his energy to get past them, or stick it down the inside where it's a bit more risky. Thank you, Ali. Yes, I did mention earlier that Big Al is your brother.
A bit late to mention that one, Ali.
Yeah, we've already got on top of that one. But he is racing very well tonight, so you can be very proud. As Fever looks like he's going to try and go into the corner here at the chicane, but no, decides better of it. It actually looked like Pacey may have moved to cover him off there as well. So jump a bit further back. It looks like Wahid and Flyboy side by side at turn 1. I think Wahid's just come out of the pits on the fresh soft, so important there that he got past so that he could get stuck behind the traffic. And I'll jump back on board with Fever. Oh, he loses the rear slightly there on throttle.
And we have another little train behind Treen as well, with Treen, Jacob Meister, Matt Zoid, Sid combined.
Fever has used up all of his ERS now, and he's finally got past Pacey into turn 1, but he's got nothing left. He's down to 1% at the end of the straight.
Now, can Pacey get the move done back?
No, I don't think so. I think Fever's done just enough to keep the position there. We're going to jump back to Trin now, who's under a fair bit of pressure from the Renault of Jacob Meister. Smitty coming back at Panda as well. He's got back in front at turn 2. Mercedes goes for the switchback. And side by side coming down the hill, the Ferrari will have DRS. He's got the inside line as well. He's not far enough alongside. The Mercedes locks up slightly, runs a bit deep, but he does hold the position. And great work from Panda. His recovery drive has gone really well. He's up to P12, and he's about 9 seconds outside the points now, so he can keep his head down. He's still got 9 laps to go. Very well might be getting some points today.
What can Fever do here as they come into the DRS zone again? He's too far back, but I think he's saving his DRS, his ERS for a run here in this section.
Yeah, and he is. Yep, there goes the overtake. It's not quite far enough. Oh, he goes very, very deep.
There's a big lock up there.
Yeah, locked up both the front tyres there, and just going to have to jump back as Jacobmeister has got past Trin now for P7. And good work from Jacob, but he does have a lot of penalties over his head, so he's going to have to have a pretty amazing 8 laps to pull out a gap so he doesn't lose any positions.
New fastest lap of 1:16.9.
Yeah, on those fresh soft tyres, but Trin has just picked up a 3-second penalty as well, so a bit interesting there. Most of the cars in that battle have all got penalties, so it's going to be a nightmare.
Combined, looking pretty at the moment.
He is. He's just got to keep it in there.
And he's on fresher tyres as well, so he should have a bit of an easier run to the finish. Fever having a look at Big Al. Is he close enough? No, not on this occasion.
Just some breaking news as well coming through from Formula 1 that Miami will be having a Grand Prix next year. So F1 at 2022 will be having a new track as Fever sends it very aggressively down the inside of turn 2.
Yeah, making contact with Big Al there.
No damage on the Red Bull from what I can see, but I think he's a bit of frustration there for Fever. He wants this race win, but he's got to get clear of this traffic.
So, Geordie, he's been able to keep Big Al and Pacey behind him for a long time. Can he do the same with Fever?
I don't think so. He's running low on ERS, and those hards are very old.
Yeah, well, the Fever doesn't have much ERS either, and those mediums, well, they're no fresher tyres either at the moment. 7 laps old.
He's got practically no ERS at the end of the straight. Hello Seb, thank you for joining us. Yeah, Fever's so much quicker than Geordie. Just a couple of tenths away now. Thinks about going into the inside of the chicane, but we've seen previous seasons that it's a very high risk move.
That red light on the back of Geordie's car almost constantly flashing now. And that is telling the driver behind that they have less than 10% battery charge available to them.
Fever's pushing so hard for that second last corner. You can just see the rear stepping out every time. It's going to be hurting his tyres. So see Stars there just pulling out of the way. Fever getting a bit of a ghost tow there from the racing point.
So lap 30 of 35, Geordie holding on at the moment and maintaining that gap to Macau out front at roughly 5.9 to 5.8 seconds.
Switching combined as well. He's done very well to keep with this little train for P7. He may jump up to 7th on penalties after the race, so he's done very, very well to just keep it clean. He's jumping a bit further back as T-Mac making a move on Flyboy into turn 1 for P16. Gets done pretty cleanly. Back onto the straight. We've got a yellow flag. Looks like Wahid has gone around at turn 5. And Fever going to the inside. He's got the move done this time. I just think Geordie had nothing to defend with. He's trying to switch back, but the McLaren will have DRS going down to turn 2 as well.
All right, now let's keep an eye on the gap to Macau.
6 seconds, so a bit of work to do.
4 laps. Big ask. That is a big ask, especially on 10-lap-old medium tyres.
Yeah, I mean, they've still got a bit of life left in them, but yeah, it is a big ask. Just coming back to Panda, who's under a lot of pressure from the Ferrari of Smitty. Stay in front though. McLaren of Simdogger as well. His battle pack for 12th. Hell yeah, FIBA wouldn't be too unhappy if he got a safety car around about now.
Well, you never know.
Ooh, FIBA just set the fastest lap of the race with the 1:16.6, and the gap's down to 5.4 seconds. He is pushing for the win. He's got 4 laps to do it. This will be absolutely riveting to see if he's going to make it.
Yeah, I think Macau's kind of just been managing the situation, and now he's going to try and just manage that gap to the end.
Interesting to see, though, that Macau doesn't have a lot of ERS left. He's got more than FIBA, but by no means has he got a lot saved up. So, we're just going to see what happens here. Just jumping a bit further back, that battle for 12th is still going. Smitty's down the inside of the Mercedes at turn 1. Pushes him right up onto the curb, but gets it done without contact. Covers the inside, and now the McLaren and Simdog are also getting involved. Ferrari having coming off the Mercedes looking very racy. But he's been on those hards for 27 laps, so there's not a lot of life left in those. Looks like Macau's responded. He's pulling out a little bit of a gap now. Ferrari train under pressure from Matsoy going to turn 1. He's under a lot of pressure, cuts inside the wall. Matsoy goes onto the grass there. The Ferrari tried to cover the inside. The Ferrari does stay in front.
That's given Jacobmeister a little bit of room.
Yeah, he's broken the toe now, so no DRS for the Ferrari, so he's going to be under a lot of pressure now from Matsoy. And Sid, who's only 3/10 behind Matsoy. But Jacobs, of course, has got a massive penalty, so combined, still in there for getting a decent points haul here.
Yeah, well, as it stands, Jacobmeister will end up in 11th. And combined would jump up into 7th place.
Bieber's got the gap down to 5 seconds, but just got a lap and a half to go. Stars sets the fastest lap of the race, the 1:15.335. I think T-Max just hit it with some fresh softs as well to try and do the same. Simdogger has some Panda now, 13th position. As Mikhail starts the final lap, the gap's now down to 4.7 seconds, but that's a lot to ask. Fever there. Don't think he's quite going to be able to do it.
Needs to be an issue for Macau, I think, for something, a gap that large to turn around. Sim Dogger's all over the back of Panda at the moment.
Oh,
he's going for it.
He's getting squeezed as the wall. Oh, lucky Wahid's AI is ghosted there in the pit exit. Sim Dogger's got the move done. Looked like Panda was doing a bit of a Schumacher move there. Squeeze his fellow driver into the pit wall.
Meanwhile, Jacob is pulling out a gap over Trin. Matsoid, Sid, and Combined all bunching up right now.
Jump up, Mikau crosses the line, slows it right down, weaves on the track, comes across for the race win. Great commanding race from him. Fever, great effort after that. Poor qualifying performance. He's brought it home in P2. Big Al moves up to P3 on penalties from Geordie in P4, Pacey in P5. And we just wait for Artanis to come home for Haas in P6. A solid drive from him. Good to see him getting a decent points result. As we see Jacob coming home for Renault, but we do expect him to be outside of the points on penalties. We've got Trin coming off the line. He's down 7th. They're all jumping all over the place, and Combined goes 7th. Trin 8th, Sid 9th, Matsoid 10th, Jacob Meister 11th. So we just wait for the Ferrari of Smitty. He's going to come across the line now, ahead of Simdogger and the McLaren. And we've got Panda and the Mercedes. You know, good recovery from him after going off at turn 1, battling for Mikau with the lead. He's come home in 14th. And we've just got Flyboy of Alfa Romeo coming home as well. Last couple of corners. And comes home in 15th. Driver of the day is, of course, Feber. You can't really argue with that. After qualifying 15th place to come home second, it's a great result for him. But, of course, biggest congratulations go to Mikau. Racing point driver. Very solid qualifying. Very solid race. Never really questioned his ability to come home first tonight. Even when he came out behind a bit of traffic, he just was very cool, calm and collected. And well done to Big Al as well of Red Bull. Very tidy drive from him as well. Just did exactly what he had to do. Kept it patient in that little battle pack with Geordie and Pacey just behind him. Then with Artanis Combined, Trin, Sid, Batsoid rounding out the top 10. We got Jacob Smitty, Simdog up Panda, Flyboy, T-Mac, Stars, Wahid, and Ponda now only DNF. Oh.
Yeah, very unlucky there for Pondon.
Yeah, very unfortunate. So I'm sure that'll be looked at after the race, but yeah, a bit hard to tell who was at fault there from that angle. I'm sure we'll see some onboard footage throughout the week. Thank you everyone for joining us for the Tier 1 race. Going to take a short break of about 15 minutes. We'll be back for a Tier 2 race at 8:30 PM Eastern Standard Time. Thank you very much, Bandcamp, for joining me in the commentary box for the Tier 1 race, and good luck with your race in Tier 2.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Aussie Formula Racing Season 6, Round 9 from the Hungaroring, Budapest, Hungary. Here for our Tier 2 race. Just loading into the quali session now. And Greg, thank you very much, Kalios Official, for the follow, and thanks Mick Gow for raiding the channel. A 4.3 kilometre circuit, 14 turns, 2 DRS straights. Spicy one last season in Tier 2. All dry is the call from Bandcamp. Thank you very much for that. Here we had a little battle between Pondon and Psycho going into turn 4. And it's not really a good place for passing, as you see there. Pondon running very wide on the exit there, trying to avoid contact with the racing point. Jacob Meister here touching the curb of death at turn 5. It's a concrete curb, that one. You do not want to touch that at all, or you'll spin around exactly like that. Jacob very lucky to get away without hitting the wall. It's so easy to pick up something damage there. Got here Pondon and King J battling into turn 6. Pondon with a big late dive on the Haas driver there. The Renault just being able to pull it up and get some move done quite comfortably. But it is a very high risk corner, as we'll see here. Pondon versus Trin going through to turn 5, line of stern, but then the Renault decides to make a late dive into turn 6 and just not enough room for him to get it done. And clips the back of the Williams and does a bit of a spin and ends up losing the position to Jacob Meister as well, who'd spun slightly earlier. Then had Jacob Meister making the pass on Combat Rat at turn 12. Another place where you can get the pass done. Turn 1 and turn 2 are the most common ones. Combat Rat getting described as racing some other drivers a bit too hard by one of our other drivers in Tier 2. Let's jump across to our qualifying session. I believe we have anyone yet on the fast lap. I think Shane Mumford has actually just started his lap. Well, thank you very much, Robert Slater, for the follow. Hello, Biggles Giggles, joining us tonight. Ooh, runs very wide, does the Williams driver, and invalidates straight away. So it is going to be one of those tricky corners to watch there. Both in qualifying for invalidations and throughout the race. We'll see how Skins fares this time. Does a shift down. We did see most of the top drivers in Tier 1 not shifting down from 7th through that corner. So be careful with that one. Biggles, thank you for the follow. Tidy second sector there from Skins. To the final sector, another Liquid Molly signage. Got a short shift up just to keep control of the traction on throttle. Through the last corner, again short shifting. Runs out of ERS, comes across the line with 114.111. So good time from him and Quantum, who did a 114.2. That's a bit further down the field, catching some traffic through the last couple of corners. Goes fourth fastest Psycho in there, putting a 114.097. So when Man validates, comes into the pits, accelerates. Starting after he invalidated his last one, we'll stay on board for his second fly here. He's got enough fuel in the tank. Little toe for the Williams driver, who darts out of the way, realises he's had to impede. Big lock up there from the Alfa Romeo driver that keeps the momentum up. A conservative here through sector 2. first race this evening. Just getting a time on the board here can be very important. You don't want to be getting into a scenario where late in the qualifying session you don't have a time on the board and basically turns into a one-shot quali. And Accelerate does come across the line. Pretty decent one for his second lap on those tyres, 1:15.1. And we've got Bandcamp as well on a lap. Just coming around the final corner now. And battling for the lead at Singapore last week. Had a bit of a spin and got some damage. Comes across in 11th, 1:15.7. Everyone's going to try into the medium. We just see lights there setting a 1:15.9 on the medium tyre. They're not quite competitive enough to set a time. A jump along Shane Mumford is starting his second lap after invalidating his first. He's very deep into turn 1. Ooh, and a big snap oversteer as well. 2 snaps in fact. One mid-corner and one on the throttle. Keeps a tight line through turn 2. Comes out wide for turn 3, cuts back in. Pretty decent first sector, apart from that first corner. Misses the apex and again invalidates the same place, turn 4. Jump back with Ali, who, fun fact, is Big Al's brother. That was Psycho's AI there. We just saw that. Oh no, that was Nuts, I think, on an outlap. Ali goes second fastest to 1:14.1. Decent time from him there. Jump back with Wingman. Validate his first run. He's going again now. Just shifts down there just to give himself the confidence to not extend there. Which is understandable when you haven't got a time on the board yet. Comes through the chicane now. A little lock up, but it keeps the speed up. Very planted there through the end of sector 2. Big lock up through the second last corner. That's kept it pretty tight. He comes around the final corner there. Missing all of the track, runs out of ERS. Comes across the provisional pole with a 1:13.8. First of the drivers into the 13s. Jump back with Skins now. Got yellow flags in every sector now. We've got a few people on their out laps or in laps. A little short shifting there from the Renault driver. He's definitely a bit worried about the traction and across those curbs. Across the line, doesn't improve. Validated his second run there. Dropped down to Mika in the Haas. He's 3/10 up on his previous time. That'll put him around about P8. See how he goes in the final sector. Bit of a wobble there. The exit of the hairpin. Goes across the line. Improves by 6/10. Goes up to 7th place. He splits the racing points there. Further back, we've got lights on the Alpha Tauri, just starting his run. So everyone's set a time so far, except for Nutt in the Mercedes and Shane Mumford in the Williams, who's on his outlap now. Got an Alpha Romeo stationary in sector 2. Just letting some traffic go through. Light shifts down, just make sure he's got the grip. very aggressive there. Putting up the tower, he's 1.2 seconds up. It's going to put him around about P7. Great commitment there through Sector 2. A little bit tentative though through the hairpin. A bit of a slide on the exit. Cost him a little bit of time. One's very wide at the final corner. Gets on the front nice and early. Run out of ERS. Goes P6 with 114.2. Good lap there from Lights. Jump a bit further down. Combat Rat just about to finish his lap. Improves by 2/10. Not quite good enough to beat Lights' time there. Have a look at Psycho, his teammate, coming around the final corner again as well. Doesn't improve. Got to Accelerate as well. Just started his lap for Alfa Romeo. Coming up to turn 4 now. Ooh, we missed the apex there. Had to get right out of the throttle to make sure that he didn't invalidate. That would have cost him a bit of time. We'll see when we get to the next checkpoint. 7 minutes left of the session, so this driver should be able to go back to the pits and change for another run. Not quite committed there by Decelerate through the last couple of corners in the Sector 2. Misses the apex there. Just locking that front right, carrying a bit too much speed. I was very deep at the hairpin, but that's okay. It does open up at one of the other alternate lines through there. Comes around the final corner. Keeps a very tight line. Short shifts a bit just to keep the traction under control. And improves by 4/10 going out to P8 with a 1:14.677. For the back, we've got Nut on flying lap now. Yet to set a time on the board. Oh, and he's invalidated. Took way too much curve on the inside there, and that is it for that lap. This is Shane Mumford. Looks like he's invalidated another lap. He's on his second run on these tyres. And he's managed to pull it inside the track limits there. A bit of a wobble on the exit though. A little bit of traffic up at Alfa Romeo. Stays out of the way, and he does. Goes off track, but it may be a bit distracting. Keeps it together. Ooh, he's run a bit wide, and he's invalidated again. Oh, the Williams driver just pushing too hard, and now he's going to have to do one-shot quali at the end. Jump aboard with Ali, who's on a flying lap at the moment. 1:14.1. Not quite seeing the times for Tier 1 at the moment, but still be building up to it. Ali, 2/10 up, should get him to 13.9s. And goes up to P2 into 13s again. Skins can respond to you. It's about a 10.5 up. That might get him into the 113.9s. Only improves by 0.02 of a second. Yeah, everyone else is in the pits. Do have Keeper on an outlap though. We'll jump on board with him. Just comes around this little last couple of corners. Liam, podium prediction for Imola. Not too sure. I reckon we might see Perez, Verstappen, and Gasly. I reckon it'll be a Honda lockout podium. By all means, let me know how wrong I am in the chat. Give us your suggestions of who you think is going to get podium tonight in real life F1. Meanwhile, Keeper on his flying lap here. We'll see how his first sector split is. 2/10 up, pretty good. Very committed through turn 4. Looks like it's going to go up to about P12 on the current improvement, but see how he goes. Comes up into the chicane. Turn 6 and 7. Ooh, he loses the rear slightly mid-corner, and that's compromised his exit. And the problem with these corners is once you mess up the first one, it just ruins your rhythm and line. Yellow flag in sector 1, so some traffic gets out of the way. Oh, and a big moment on the exit there. Keeper losing the rear, and he cuts into the pits. Definitely nothing illegal about that, their keeper. I'm going to jump on board with Kingsway, who's just starting a lap now. A lot of traffic coming out of the pits. They do a good job to stay out of the way. Racing Point just getting in the way here. What is he doing? Oh, I think that was Combat not paying attention, and that's impeded Kingjay's lap here. See what his delta is. Still a 10th up, but he would have lost a fair bit of time there. Looks like Combat just a bit asleep there behind the wheel. Kingjay comes across the line with a 1:15.5. Just getting some migrating host messages. Wonderful. Hopefully that's just a glitch. I'll jump up board with Batemate, who's currently on another flyer. Tighter here from Batemate. Especially his last couple of corners. Big slide through the final corner. Keeps it together though. And comes across the line. 1:14.041. So Ali starts a lap. Can he respond to Wingman's 1:13.838? Just 7,000ths of a second in front. So we've got about 15 seconds left in this qualifying session. Oh, he runs very wide. I don't know how he didn't invalidate. I think he did. Just not showing up on my track map. Combat Rat on a lap now. Looks like we're having some issues. We may have to reset the lobby after this session. I think this lobby is pretty much cactus. Yeah, looks like I've got everyone here on outlap, so definitely looks like it's broken. Be back in a moment, ladies and gents. Just going to sort out what's happening with the lobby, and we'll be back. Alright guys, apologies for the delay. Looked like we had a bugged out lobby that was causing some desync and AI taking over and impeding and everything. So, we're back here with a new lobby. It's going to do one-shot quali. We've still got dynamic weather as well, so let's see how we go. So that quali session is all good and clear. Go wait for everyone to load their setups. Condon saying it's a wet race. Ooh, it's going to spice things up quite nicely. Okay, here we go. Run on there. Quali runs now. Hi, Volcanen. Thanks for joining us. No, Pondon, we're not going to restart because it's wet. That's what dynamic weather means. Jump on board with Wingman is currently leading the quali run. Pretty neck and neck between Wingman and Baitmates. We've run on the soft except for Hero. Hero opting to be on the medium tyre, hoping to benefit from some people's runs. Combat has retired from the session. So and Ali as well, possibly invalidating. Looks like he's in front of Baitmate. Pretty tidy so far. And does go pole 113.9. We'll run through the rest in just a moment. And what have we got? We got Wingman P1, followed by Baitmate Lights getting it at P3. We've then got Keeper, Quantum, Vasa, Skins, King J, Mika, and Bandcamp rounding out the top 10. Then got Nut, Saxa, Hero, Conrod, Squid. We've got Shane Mumford not setting a time. Same with Psycho, Combat, Decelerate, and Ali. Okay, one-shot quali is done. And there we go, full wet weather conditions. It's going to be very treacherous here. Okay, we've got drivers going out now on their formation lap. No Pondon, so was discussed in the Tier 2 race lobby chat what would happen with the restart. So, as we see, Psycho and Decelerate have disqualified on their outlap. Obviously coming together briefly. As Conrad and Shane Mumford looks like they've also come together. Conrad also leaving the session. I hope he knows that getting disqualified from the formation lap doesn't mean that you're disqualified from the race. And we see the AWS Insights expected pit strategy will be lap 17. And Conrad has rejoined, so hopefully just a bit of a connection issue. And he's able to get back in control of his car in a moment. Okay, here we go. Lights coming on, engines revving. And we're away, very short lights there. Horrible, horrible traction as they come out. Looks like the Red Bull at the back of Ali's had a great exit. Oh, and it looks like the McLaren has gone round. That looks like it's quantum effect. We saw some wing damage go there as well. And we've got 4 or 5 wide back there. Just trying to find out who that is. Oh, we've got cars everywhere off of turn 1. We've got a Red Bull around. Looks like Conrad. And we've got an Alfa Romeo off the track there on the inside. Sachs go side by side through turn 5, get through relatively okay. So West taking over half the screen with more insights that they just showed. Pretty tidy lap considering the conditions, apart from turn 1. As we see Vassar under a fair bit of pressure from Bandcamp now. We've got a yellow flag a bit further back. Looks like a Mercedes has gone around further back. Vassar turning around in front of Bandcamp, runs off the track. Let's see, Bandcamp has the position. The AlphaTauri going on the inside, but no. Renault has held the position. So falling back a little bit. A bit of pressure from the Ferrari of Saxa now. Being reasonably well behaved. Let's go through to the end of lap 2. I'm just tiptoeing around, just getting a feel for the conditions. towards the Red Bull of Ali. Looks like he has a big moment there. We've got an Mayo of King J has gone around. He's lost his entire front wing, or at least a good half of it. It's unfortunate for him. Just back up to Ali. He's right on the back of Nut, who's managed to get back into the points. And a great start from Ali, who started right at the back, validating his hot lap before in one-shot quali. Mumford running very wide there in sector 2. He'll be under a lot of pressure now from Nut, who also runs very wide. Van Camp right on the back of Lights' gearbox now. The outside line into turn 1. Around the outside there. Bandcamp going to get it into turn 2. It looks like he's using a bit of his ERS just to get it down the inside, and going side by side there. But I think Bandcamp's just done enough. No, they're going side by side through turn 3 as well. And a little wobble from the AFR, who picks up a penalty for cutting the corner, and Bandcamp moves up into P4. So I'm joined by Apollo Pepsi here in the commentary box. How are you?
Hello. So I'm late.
That's all good. We had some dramas with the first lobby glitching out in the qualifying session, and people disconnecting and ghosting and all sorts of wonderful things like that. So we did one-shot quali, and of course the lobby was set up with dynamic weather, so we have a dry session in the first lobby and then get a wet session in the second lobby.
So you didn't miss much, I'm guessing?
No, not much at all. We had a bit of drama in turn 1, a few cars picking up damage and going off track, but since then they've been reasonably well behaved. Just going to jump a little bit further back. Looks like Sax is under a bit of pressure from Hero here. Big moment there for the Ferrari driver on the exit for the final corner. It's going to hurt him down the straight. So Hero is able to close the gap a little bit. And he goes for a big dive. Yeah, he's gone for a dive. There's a bit of contact there. I don't know how neither of them spun there. Haas still trying to go for the outside of turn 2. And he looks like he's been given a lot of space by the Ferrari. I don't know if he can get alongside enough. He's got another Ferrari off in sector 2. Looks like Squid. As yes, Hero has got the move done. He moves up into P7. But another yellow flag was the Mercedes of Nut has gone around, and he's damaged his wing as well. Looks like the exit of turn 4 there. He's just lost it a little bit on the curb as he recovers there from the spin. Lights looks like he's had a little bit of a mistake. He's dropped down 4.5 seconds off the back of Bandcamp now, 5.5 seconds now. This is teammate Vasa struggling to hold back Hero, who's making a big charge. Oh, and the Ferrari of Squid, I have no idea what he's doing there. Luckily he's ghosted because he's lapped down. It looks like Hero's making his move. The final corner on the inside. Getting just enough space to get the move done, but it looks like the AlphaTauri's got the straight line speed. The Haas darts to the inside. It looks like the Red Bull of Ali having a look at Saxa as well. And Hero sends it on the inside. The AlphaTauri runs very wide out onto the curb, and the Haas has got the move done. Yeah, not much the AlphaTauri can do to come back at him now.
Looks like we have a spin.
King J, I think, in sector 2.
King J spinning. out of the chicane, I think, and is missing his whole right side of his wing. So massive damage on the Alfa Romeo car.
Thank you for the follow, Travis. Bandcamp's having a great race so far. He's up in P4 and is closing into his teammate in P3.
And there's Deltas gone.
Yeah, lost all the Deltas unfortunately. The next lap should come back.
Pretty decent train below P5 it looks like. Just a bit of a gap between the Racing Point drivers.
Slowly see the Deltas come back as they cross the start-finish line. There's that massive gap that's formed between Bandcamp and Lights. It's after 10 seconds now. I'm just going to have a look and see if he's picked up any damage at all. It doesn't look like it. Just up on pace, he's just fallen right off the back of him.
Looks like the top four have done a little bit of wet practice. Doesn't look like some drivers haven't practiced at all for wet. Ollie's getting extremely close to back of Saxon now at the moment.
Yeah, he's looking to get past him pretty quickly after starting right at the back. There's only 3 tenths between Vassar and Saxo, and Ali just a couple of tenths behind him as well. He's really going to want to get clear of them. He looks like he's got so much more pace, and the car's in front. This Bandcamp has set the fastest lap of the race as a little bit of contact between the Ferrari and the Alfa Tauri. And now Ali having a look at the inside of Saxo now. Oh, has he got... He's made it round. I thought he tapped him there. It looked like he was losing the rear.
Looks like Shane was trying to do the same thing, but he's carrying damage on that end plate.
Ali darts to the inside, has a move on the Ferrari. He's not quite far up enough. And yeah, Shane Rumford having a good look at him as well. Goes off the track and he's got the move done on Ali.
Combat having a look as well.
That's dangerous. And Ali looks to go.
Oh, that's a bit of contact between Combat and Ali.
Side by side now, and Ali trying to hold the inside against the Racing Point. Oh, and that's Haas has gone round. That is Hero has gone off. Is that Hero? Or is it the other one? It's Mika. Mika has gone off in the background there.
Let's see if there's any damage.
Yeah, he's lost his right end plate from that.
Not the best around this track, but in the wet, not really that much of a deal. It's going to hinder in turning speed, but won't deal that much damage. But Vassar doing extremely well to hold Saxo off at the moment.
Still holding on from the Ferrari of Saxa.
Now, I'm going to assume that this is full wet till the end.
Yeah, that was the forecast from Bandcamp when he jumped into the session. But you never know. Looks to be a slightly longer race. It might actually dry up, but you never know. Looks a bit lighter than when we started.
I won the Mercs around sector 4.
Yeah, it looks like not. It's his second spin, I think, of the race so far.
He's drifting. Still goes wing in tight, so he can keep on going.
Yeah, those wet tyres will be pretty hot though.
No, he's having another spin. Not having the best of luck.
Just up ahead, Skins has let his teammate through. Spankamp up into P3, hunting down Baitmate and Wingman.
It's like here and Light's going at it. Here just getting by second last corner.
Yeah, he's got some great pace. There's the Haas driver. Gained 8 positions since the start. See a quantum effect coming into the pits. I'm not sure if that's for any damage or if he's deciding to come in a bit earlier than everyone else.
I will have a look. He's coming in for a wing change and enters.
Oh, interesting. We've definitely got to watch his pace then, because it does look a little bit lighter than it was before. So interesting to see how his pace compares to those around him.
That'll be interesting for undercuts in the future. I see the train for 5th or for 7th. Get a bit spicy with enters.
Sachs is so close to the back of the AlphaTauri. He's really desperate to get past here. He's going to try it before the hairpin. Not quite close enough. He's just going to jump up to Wingman, who's right in the slipstream of Baitmate for the lead. Baitmate goes very defensive at turn 1, so the McLaren takes the outside line, but we didn't really go for a switch back there. I thought he was about to, but the Williams basically just parked it on the inside and blocked him completely. Good defending there, but Bandcamp just over a second behind them, so he's going to be in this battle pretty soon. Just going to jump down a little bit. Ali on the back of Combat. Coming into turn 1. Is he going to make another dart to the inside? No. Racing Point has covered it off. Oh, and a big slide on throttle from the Red Bull. Does look like Quantum Effect is closing in on Conrad pretty quickly. I'm not sure if that's the tyre or just Quantum's experience. Psycho getting quite close to Ali as well. Still inching to get past Combat. Combat having a look the inside at the hairpin of Shane Mumford, forcing the Williams onto the curb.
Oh, I'm looking at gap to leader from Quantum to Baitmate. It looks like he's catching up on pace at the moment. So that Inters might be the right tyre choice at the moment.
Yeah, I wonder if they might hold off, try and get to lap 17 and just go to the end on the Inters. I don't think that it'll quite be worthwhile or two-stop. As we do see who's that's just peeled into the pits. I think that was Lights has come in.
So Lights in, no one else follows, I don't think.
So I don't think he's got any damage, so that might be him triggering a bit of an undercut to go onto the Inters.
And yeah, it looks like he is going on into tyres, no wing damage. So
Okay.
he'll be out in front of Conrad.
This battle between Shane Mumford and Combat getting pretty spicy for PA. Bandcamp right on the back of Wingman as well. Thank you very much for the follow, William Bello. So we've got a yellow flag. Looks like the Mercedes. I think that is that Nut again. I think it might be, unfortunately.
Yep.
In the final
Nuts
sector.
had a spin, same spot as
We've
two
got a
laps to go.
pass round at turn 1. It looks like it's Mika again as well, unfortunately.
Tricky conditions.
This battle for the lead is getting close. It looks like Skins is pit.
No,
Oh, it looks like he's gone into the pit lane. He stays out.
you have been fooled.
No one's reacted to Light's move. Conrad has come in for the inters though, but Light's still the only one who's in that top 10 who's decided to pit.
We got a collision.
Collision there.
Shane and
Ali.
Combat. No, Shane and Combat both colliding second last corner.
And Combat's damaged his end plate on his left-hand side. They were getting a bit spicy there. It looks like Shane Mumford's coming to the pits as well. I don't know if there's any wing damage on the Williams.
The Williams was carrying damage to begin with from I think lap 5. Vasa just got overtaken by Saxa as we were watching that.
And Bandcamp right on the back of Wingman now. Skins not too far behind either. And our Batemate has got a bit of a reprise. Pulling away over a second from the McLaren. So we see now a few more cars coming out on the inters. So Combat and Shane Mumford opting for the inters. But I think it's still a bit of a case where, unless they have to pit, I don't think they're going to just yet, but the rain is definitely getting lighter.
Still 22 laps to go, and those inters will not last that long. I'll say that much. Say Quantum might have to pit again.
Yeah, definitely see those inters will burn out by the end. But you never know, it could be drying up even more towards the end, so we may not have to pit again.
Or was one of the Mercs went almost spinning. Losing a lot of traction in turn 4.
Got the Red Bull of Ali has just come into the pits as well as Light sits the fastest lap of the race on the intermediate tyres, so definitely crossed over. Ali going onto the inters as well, so and he's come out behind Lights by quite a few seconds, so
my game is all sorts of bugged. I don't get any notifications.
We are getting there might be some issues in Steam this evening, so please bear with us, everyone.
Ali and Quantum got a little bit of contact on the X of.
Yeah, it looks like Ali's coming. Oh, he's gone round. He's gone round. Ali has spun at turn 2.
Ali was on the inside line. Not sure if enough space was given, or Ali just understeered into Quantum after pitting. Those inters might not be able to temp.
Wingman has triggered another pit stop, so he has come to the pits for the inters. Both Renaults staying out, so neither one of them responded. I would have expected one of them to react to that, especially given we're seeing the fastest laps now on the intermediate tyre. So I wonder though if Bandcamp's thinking the long game here. He knows that the intermediates will struggle to go more than half distance. So he may be just trying to get past that critical lap of lap 17 and then coming in and getting another fresh set. But I guess it just depends on whether or not it's going to be wet for the whole race or if it's going to dry up a little bit.
Now prepare for deltas to disappear because Conrad just connected it again.
Bandcamp's so close to the back of Batemate, just 4/10 now. And there go the deltas.
Called it. King J's in the pit lane. Looks like he's gone on inters as well.
So Wingman is the highest. We got a yellow flag, got a Haas round of the final.
It looks like Mika just losing into pit lane entry. Oof. Don't know if he got wing damage. It won't show me.
I'll be interested to see what these two here at the front do. Looks like Batemate's coming to the pit, so Band is staying out. Band is staying out. Is Skin's going to come in to cover?
Skin's
Skin's staying out. So both Renault drivers opted to stay out to the halfway point. Neither of them covering off the Haas or the McLaren. Interesting to see though where Wingman, whether or not Wingman can get past Hero. Is Hero staying out? Wingman, is he going to jump the Williams of Batemate? He's just exited the pits now, so he's definitely going to jump him. And there he goes, the undercut worked.
That's provisional lead at the moment.
And the gap now is about 15 seconds to Bandcamp now, so that's less than a pit stop. So if Band pits, which you expect him to do at the end of the next lap, that will be Wingman into the lead and probably Batemate into second, because I don't think there's any way Band's going to be able to get an overcut to work here in these conditions. As we lose Conrad again, unfortunately.
Wonder if that's a Steam issue again.
Possibly. We had a few drivers getting disconnected from Steam a bit earlier. I'm just going to jump up to Decelerate as he's passed by Keeper as he exits the pits. Oh, and there's nearly a collision between the two. I don't think Decelerate left him much room at all. Keeper staying out on the wets.
Keeper drifting to exit turn 1. As we got banned in the pit lane now.
Here we go. Skins is going to have to stay out or he'll have to double stack. So Hero stays out as well. So I don't know if that's the best decision.
No, Hero just passed the entry.
There you go. Banned onto the intermediate tyres.
Wingman's all over the back of Hero at the moment.
And Batemate just a couple of seconds down the road as well. And here comes Bandcamp out of the pits. He's going to come out behind Batemate, so the undercut has worked again as Wingman thinks about going for a move on Hero at turn 1. Decides better of it.
If he's not careful, Batemate will close that gap. So he has to make this move sooner or later. I wonder if the people on wets will choose this lap to go on the Inters, because the Inters will make it from now.
Yeah, I think that they will want to change it now. I don't think there's much value in trying to stretch out the wets any longer than they already have.
I'm just gonna look at penalties. So Skins, Hero, Lights, Ali, Combat and Conrad all 3 seconds. Shane is carrying a 6 second at the moment. Those are all drivers with penalties. So it might hurt him at the end of the race.
The yellow flag in sector 1 looks like the Alpha man of King J. He's going around.
He's lost his right side of his wing again.
So Hero comes into the pits. It does look like Skins has stayed out though, so he must be going long on the wet tyres. Just a bit of a different strategy from his teammate. He must be doing pretty well on the tyres. We got the AWS Insight saying that now is the time for the intermediate tyre, so maybe if they can't do half the race distance, maybe it's a bit less than that. See Saxon and Vassar coming to the pits as well as Hero. Has Hero not changed tyres? Hero's come out on a fresh set of wets. Oh, I think that's a bad decision there from the Haas pit wall. It definitely looks...
That might have been a misclick as well.
Oh, it's a real shame. That's the case.
So Vassar just leaving the pits as well. Comes out on 11th. So it's Psycho turn 1. Psycho just point ahead because he's got more heat in his inters at the moment to Vassar. So Vassar has come out in that 4-way fight for 9th at the moment. So King J is having all sorts of troubles.
He cops a penalty for getting out of the way, which I'm sure he'll appreciate greatly.
You gotta love the penalties in this game.
Bandcamp, less than a second to Batemate. I'm just watching the delta between Skins and Wingman, and now Skins has hit. He was losing quite a bit of time to him before that, so...
as King Joe has retired. I think he's hit the wall. Second last corner wall is hit. I think he just understeered and
Yeah, I can see he's gone off the hairpin into the wall there. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like there's been a safety car come out because of it.
so here he's back in the pit lane to get those tyres removed.
Oh no, that's just ruined his race now.
Hero's not gonna be happy. It's not the greatest strategy call. Both passes having a shocking race. So Quantum being the first one to pit, he's actually made up in the 7th with that massive undercut. He's actually trailing Saxo for 6th now.
Hero looks like he's got quite a bit of pace now that he's on the right tyre, just half a second behind Psycho. Ali as well, getting quite close to the back of Shane Mumford again. I'm sure he's not too happy after that little spin contact they had earlier.
Looks like Hero's, oh, he was close enough to make a move, but it's like he actually getting pretty good traction out of the last corner.
Keeper, one of the last cars to come in to get rid of those wets. We still have Nut, Conrod and Squid on the wet tyre.
Looks like Bell first is going to spice up a bit. All of them within a second now.
Bandcamp does set the fastest lap of the race, 130.9, so he's got quite a bit of pace on those inters.
Seeing quite a few cars lock their tyres into turn 1.
See Conrad come into the pits. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one, seeing lights come up every turn 1, see if he does lock up his front.
Not sure if some drivers are used to the change in grip level.
Thank you for the follow, Ricardo Arqui. And that battle for first. Getting closer and closer, just 4/10 between Wingman and Baitmate, and 6/10 between Baitmate and Bandcamp. Of course, Baitmate has a time penalty of 3 seconds. So all Wingman has to do is keep Baitmate in between him and Bandcamp. The Band will want to get past him pretty quick. He'll want the win after that collision at Singapore. Cost him the win on the final lap. So yeah, Baitmate looks like he's really struggling now. He's dropped outside a second thereabouts of Wingman. Band's just so close to the back of him now. Oh, his Band has a bit of a moment on the curb. And just collected up, but that's compromised his run down to turn 1.
I think Baitmate's getting a bit of pressure thrown at him from Band. He's actually lost quite a bit of pace.
Oh, looks like there's a Haas that just went around there. Yeah, there was. Is that
Mika?
Yeah, Mika again. He's had some troubles this race as Hero and Psycho battling it out. Through the last couple of corners, looks like Hero's going to make a move into the hairpin. He's got the inside line. Psycho runs out wide. And yeah, Haas has got the move done. Hero's back in the points.
All he has to do is chase down Ollie now. But Hero is holding a 3-second penalty. If Psycho can stay with that, in that gap, he can gain that place back.
So we've got Nut having another spin at turn 4, unfortunately for him.
Looks like Baymay's a lot more confident than Wingman through Sector 2 of the track. Loses most of the time in Sector 3 though. So we got Squid into pit lane for enters, I assume.
Yeah, last one to chuck on the inters, get rid of the wets. So the Hero's still in P10, even though he had that extra pit stop when he accidentally put on a fresh set of wets. So he's done well to keep it in the points. Oh, and a big slide from Ali. Saxo sets the passes up the race, 130.7 in 6th place. Which is immediately taken back by Hero, who's pushing now that he's clear of Psycho. Lull at the moment. Ali just a couple of tenths behind Shane Mumford. It's the closest battle on track. We've still got our 3 race leaders within 8 tenths almost exactly in between each other. Everyone else is kind of settling into a bit of a rhythm. It's about 11 laps to go. Oh, as Ali has a big slide. That's before he comes up to the second last corner. He's drifting that Red Bull around all the low speed corners. He's getting on the throttle pretty early. Maria's stepping out.
Got another yellow. Looks.
Yeah, it's still Nut, I think.
It's not Nut. I think it was
a
Keeper.
Was it?
Keeper's had it off this time. Looks like lost his end plate, giving way to the front runners.
Ali had a big moment of oversteer mid corner of turn 3, had to run very wide on the exit to save the car.
Hero's pushing extremely high. He's actually very low on ERS at the moment.
Yeah,
only 35.
He's got that gap down to almost a second to Ali.
So I wonder. Mercedes has a spin. Looks like Nuts spun at second last corner now. No, it's not nice. Keeper.
Yeah, Nuts just overtaken his teammate in the final sector.
Keeper missing all of his wing.
Quite wisely comes into the pits. Jump back to Combat Rat, who's quite close to the back of Vassar in the AlphaTauri. Hero looks like he's got a massive run on the Red Bull of Ali. Oh, and Ali he gets pushed a bit wide.
So Hero just shoving the Red Bull driver almost off track, but still able to keep on. And if Ali had a bit of a moment in turn 1, which allowed Hero to gain. I think Keepers just had another off at turn 5 exit. Still got his wing intact.
Yeah, just a little spin, I think, on his new tyres. Quite up to temperature.
Battle for first hasn't been anything too special. None of the guys in the top 3 making any moves on each other.
Yeah, not yet. We're seeing combat rate coming to the pits now. He's just getting a fresh set of inters. Still raining, so definitely won't be slicks.
Come back in for new tyres.
Yeah. The gap between Batemate and Bandcamp much closer than it has been last few laps. Hi, Mark the Demon Angle. Not sure if that's meant to be Angel, but yeah, hi. Yeah, we're seeing Ban drop off a little bit now. Off the back of Batemate's now blown out to 1.2 seconds, so these gaps kind of just ebbing and flowing at the moment. Hero has caught up to the back of Shane Mumford though, so back on him. It's Dynamic Mark. Yellow flag in sectors 2 and 3. Looks like Mercedes has gone round again.
Keeper just having it off. Not sure if it damages wing.
Thanks for the follow, Pimmy.
Keeper very fortunate, has no damage to his wing at all. He did hit that wall pretty hard, so that's
Must have ghosted,
right.
fortunately, because yeah, normally would knock you out. Skin setting the fastest lap of the race, 1:30.329. So we've got Ali's caught up to the back of Hero. No, Mark, I commentate for Aussie Formula Racing T1 and 2. So I don't race in these anymore. Oh, we have a bit of a scary moment there from Shane Mumford.
As Ollie, I think, just went quickest, 1:30.164.
Here we go. Hero's having a go on the inside of Shane Mumford. He's right up on the curb. Shane running a bit wide, a side by side coming down the hill, but Hero has got the move done. Is the Williams going to try and get back at him? No, we've got a virtual safety car.
Looks like Keeper had a spin. Yeah, Keeper's lost his whole wing again at turn 5. So that's the cause of the safety car.
Yeah, the whole field is neutralised now. Gaps in the lead. Under half a second between each car. Still under yellow flag conditions. And there we go, green flag. And Shane Mumford has got a penalty for ignoring, for speeding under safety car. Skins has got a 5-second penalty for speeding under the safety car. Oh, it looks like Shane Mumford, there he is, coming in to serve his penalty now. Ali chasing after Hero now.
So, keeper decide not to pit for that damage. But he's still gone around with no wing.
Yep, there he is.
Did Shane have a drive-through?
He did, yeah. What was it? Speeding under safety car or ignoring yellow flags? One of those two.
I don't think you get one for yellow, so it must have been speeding.
I think Skins did get one. Got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So
I'm just not getting anything. I had to keep pausing.
Again, the gaps between our race leaders are the closest ones on the track. Just under a second between each car. At the front, Ali's dropped off a little bit off the back of Hero now that he's clear of the traffic. He's got 10 seconds to catch up to Quantum.
So we got quite a few penalties now. So Batemate, Nut, and Ali 3 seconds each. Lights, Combat, Keeper, and Conrad 6 seconds. Skins is holding 8 at the moment. Got Hero and Shane on 9.
Oh, it's a full safety car. Keeper's retired.
And Shane's the first one in the pit lane.
I think Keeper retired coming into the pits.
I think so. That looks like pit entry.
Still on board with Wingman. Let's see what happens here. They're all going to come in for fresh inters. You'd think so.
The car's just disappeared.
What are they going to do? Wingman's staying out. So's Batemate. Bandcamp's coming in. Very good decision. I think they've got enough of a gap, and the speed difference is going to be massive.
Skins decides to stay out.
Yeah, smart with splitting the strategy between the two. Skins also has a time penalty, so he's going to want to have the track position just so he can stay ahead of anyone else with penalties.
Lice decided to come in as well.
But look at this. Like, Bandcamp's only lost a position to his teammate.
So this is going to hurt anyone with a penalty at the moment.
And also, like, Band's going to have so much more grip now. He's got a very good chance of getting the win here now. If all the guys in front of him haven't pit.
Saxa out. Quantum stays out. One Haas is in. I think it was Miki in. Hero comes in. Ollie's also in. Psycho stays out.
Yeah, Keeper just coming to chat, had no wing, hit the bollard going into the pits. This game sucks. Yeah, it does sometimes, unfortunately, Keeper. Unlucky, man.
Yeah, it mean you hit the wall, not the bollard. I don't see a bollard.
Oh, let's see, hit the bollard first, and then hit the wall.
Hit the bollard, lost traction, hit the wall. Or it's one of those bollards that make him out-metal.
So we see Hero coming out of the pits now into P12, so he's on fresh inters, same as Ali and Light and Bandcamp. We do have a few outside the top 10 as well. Shane Mumford, Mika, and Conrad who are on fresh inters.
Quantum, who's in 6, but his tyres are 20 laps old. You would have expected him to pit.
Yeah, maybe he'll come in now that he still hasn't caught the safety car train. And he might have a nice little gap to drop in between the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari. You know he stays out. Oh wait, hang on, looking at the wrong car.
Yeah.
Here comes Quantum now. Surely he's going to come in. No,
Just tried to
20
stay
laps.
out.
That's all right. Fair enough. Start to be worried if he's going to get a puncture. Keeper in the chat calling Apollo Pepsi a bollard. So
No. You're wrong. I'm no bollard. I don't crash out. I didn't even race, so can't say it.
Okay, so hopefully we'll probably see the safety car for another lap after this one. The field's pretty spread out, so hopefully...
Safety car will be in next lap because you only get 2 full laps of racing when it's this late.
I think we saw in Singapore that it came in, it was a very late decision for it to come in because the field had caught up right in the last sector, so his Baitmate's picked up a penalty for colliding with the back of Skins. I know Skins would have hit Baitmate.
Yes.
Oh, the Baitmate now has 3 seconds of penalty. Skins has 13 seconds. Wow.
Baitmate has 8 seconds of penalties. This has got to hurt badly.
Maxi Monkey, so the safety car's come out because Keeper had crashed into the pit entrance. He had no front wing, wasn't able to make the corner, unfortunately for him. And that's brought out the safety car. And only a couple of drivers pit. The highest position one was Bandcamp, who's only lost the 1 position out of the safety car. So, and the only person he lost it to is his teammate, who undoubtedly is going to let him through once it's easy to do so. But this has helped everyone else's race. It bunched up quite a bit. The wet conditions have made it a bit tricky for everyone.
The question is, when do they switch the Renault drivers?
Surely it'd be turn 1.
You wouldn't do it on a restart because if Skin does it, he could get swamped by Saxa, who's right behind Band.
The other thing he could do is turn 2 because then it's very hard to get past someone after that. Like, you can kind of make 1 position up at turn 2, but it's tricky for 2 cars to go through.
One of Mercs, I think that's not
trying to unlap himself.
Oh, it's lost a traction. He's about to spot it.
Oh, it's not going to hit everyone else. He's pointing the wrong way, and he's got a drive-through penalty for... Oh, he's got the whole grid going past him. I mean, you've got nothing to lose trying to unlap yourself there, but... Oh, he's... Would have given a few drivers a heart attack there.
I think I saw him have overtake, so he might have turned to overtake it on a little bit early.
Combat's got a penalty now for ignoring yellow flags. I
think that would have been nut.
Yeah.
So most people might have gone 5 seconds for nut being turned and might be appealed.
Yeah, stewards are going to be busy after this one, I think.
Fun.
Oh, it looks like there's a bit of an issue a bit further back at the chicane. Not sure if someone went off or had a bit of a spin, but
I think everyone's just giving
each other enough room. Safety car's in this lap. So
here comes the issue where you might get hit by someone else.
Yeah, you see them all bunching up a bit further back. Oh, the Racer Point looked like he went in very quick.
Oh, the Racer Point did
go he hit Decelerate. Oh, no.
Oh, I hit the car right in front of Hero. How?
Okay, so Wingman here in control of the field.
He's lost his wing as well.
And I think he's just about gone. He's through the final corner now.
And he goes.
There we go.
Right now. Oh, he's got a pretty good gap to Baitmate now.
But let's watch Bandcamp. He's got these brand new tyres. The only one in the top 5 to have new set of inters.
He was under attack by Saxa pulled out of the move though. It looks like one of the Mercedes got turned on the straight.
So he's got a 2-lap sprint to the end here.
Looks like Lights gone side by side with, or it was Lights was going side by side with Sun. I think it was with Quantum. The Quantum dropping down at 7th now.
Yeah, on those 23 lap old inters, they're not going to have much grip at all. He definitely should have come into the pits. Now, Bandcamp's stuck behind his teammate here, and I think that's going to be hurting him. Like, with those fresh inters, he really needed to get clear so he can put a pressure on Wingman, who's in the lead.
Oh, Lights getting really impatient behind Sachs. He's pushing them through every single corner.
Yeah, Sachs are also not pitting. His old inters. Gonna make a move here at the end of the straight. Thinks about it, but tucks back in.
Oh, a little bit of contact between the two. No damage. The Lights gives an opening to Quantum and shuts the door straight away. Final lap. So Skin's not really given position to Band at the moment.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised by that. I would have thought they'd orchestrate something. Skins has got that much of a penalty that really not worth holding up Band, who's got none at all, and on fresh tyres. At least give them a chance to have an attack on them, man.
But Hero and Ali gonna each other for turn 5. And Vasa right in front of them though. Penalties are gonna play out at the back of the field for most of the drivers.
Yeah, Hero tried to get past Vasa there at the chicane, and like we showed in the intro video, it's really not a good place to pass. It's just too much risk.
I believe Pondon tried a last season on Trin there.
He did, yeah, and he just hit his back tyre and spun around. Bandcamp's caught up to his teammate, but his teammate's also caught up to Baitmate.
Well, Skins was applying a bit of pressure on Baitmate. That might be a reason why they didn't switch early on.
Yes, Wingman comes across the line, and he does win this Tier 2 race. Positive Formula Racing, Bandcamp comes across the line in second. Saxa in third. Quantum Effect jumps all the way up to P4, so maybe it was the right decision to not pit for tyres. We've got Psycho in 5th, Fasta 6th, Light 7th, Baitmate in 8th, Ali 9th, Hero in 10th, Skins in 11th. Oh my god, I think just Nut the only one yet to come. So he's actually spun, he's back in Sector 2. So we'll run through the rest. So we got Skins has dropped all the way down to 11th, so he's out of the points with those penalties. Decelerate in P12, Shane Mumford 13th, Combat Rat 14th, Mika down in 15th, Conrad 16th, Squid comes across in 18th, and Nut will eventually be 17th when he comes across the line, with Keeper and King Shay not finishing the race. So yeah, it did spice up a little bit towards the end. Oh, there's a big drift from Nut. He should just retire now. I think he's struggling to make it home.
He's giving us a show.
I don't think that was intentional. Yeah, it was... the race was a little bit of a procession for most of it. They got into a bit of a rhythm and not much happening for a fair chunk of it. But yeah, the safety car at the end spiced things up just a little bit. As Nut decides to come into the pits rather than take the checkered flag. Thank you very much for that, Nut. Yeah, just a shame that Bandcamp wasn't able to get more laps at the end there to really try and stretch out those fresh tyres. But he had nothing to lose by coming into the pits. His teammate had a penalty anyway, so he didn't lose anything in the end.
Quantum having a good race after with those tyres.
Absolutely.
I believe lap 11 he pitted.
Ali getting driver of the day as well, starting at the back of the grid, making some pretty good gains there, but of course celebrating here. Wingman from McLaren getting the win. Bandcamp back on the podium for Renault. I think that's Saxa in the third place there. Good result for him as well. So, good points there for McLaren and AlphaTauri. Both drivers for those teams getting into the top 10. We've got Ali as well picking up the fastest lap of the race with a 1:30.164. Started dead last and finished in 9th, so good recovery from him after quali. Alright, that's it from us here at Aussie Formula Racing. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Pepsi, for jumping into the commentary booth this evening. We will be back on Friday night for Formula 2 at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Australian time. And we'll be back next weekend for the Spanish Grand Prix for Tier 1 and Tier 2 from 7 p.m. Eastern Australian time. I've been Gus Rules. Thank you so much for your company. We'll see you next time.
See ya.